let's get rolling.
Dude, it's working, bro.
Yeah.
It's so badass.
Yeah.
Something about it though, dude, deep down inside makes me not trust it, man.
Yeah. So those of y'all that are tuning in, all right, you know, let's do an intro here. Welcome to the Dangerzone. We're taking it to unknown territory right now. It's all a process.
Oh, easy, killer.
Let's see if that death by walking.
Yep, the first series of blooper reels.
Okay. All right, no,
Here, I'll hold this for a second.
We're gonna troubleshoot real quick. But dude, we're here at the Dangerzone podcast. We're innovating, dude.
Just trying to figure it out.
Okay, let's do an active track.
Just trying to figure out this DJI drone. It's so nice.
Dude, isn't technology crazy?
It's ridiculous, dude. It's so ridiculous. I mean, as we speak, there's a rocket with a Tesla attached to it with an astronaut inside it. I don't know. Kind of looks fake to me, but what do I know? I'm no rocket scientist. I'm no Elon Musk.
Are you trying to say that it's just like hanging out in a studio, dude?
Yeah. I mean, hey, there's that footage, man, that shows. It glitches. I don't know, man. I'm not a flat earther, but Tower 7, bro. Never forget. All right,
Let's try and like move a little bit and see if it picks us up. Should be.
Dude, seeing your setup though, man, definitely gives me a better perspective on how much it takes to put out a good video, man. It's not easy.
Yeah.
A lot of moving parts.
So, yeah, I mean, and this is obviously we're taking things to the next level right now. But like, even the home setup, people don't realize like how much equipment I have, like
how much fucking bandwidth it takes,
everything
dude.
goes going into it. Hey, for you, those of you tuning in, this is my buddy Steve Bunting.
Yeah.
We're best buds, dude. And we're just going on a nice walk out in nature here in beautiful California.
This is us getting ready for that Raider challenge that's coming up.
Oh yeah. Dude.
Everyone else is finning 10Ks, running marathons. We're just bringing out cameras and walking in nature.
Cruising, dude.
You know, anyone can fucking prepare and be decent at something, but only the truly badass dudes can just show up and make shit happen. So, I mean, that's my motto at least. Maybe I'm just lazy, who knows? Probably a little bit of both. If it wasn't for muscle memory, I probably wouldn't have anything half the time. Oh no. What's going on?
We got a drone wigging out right now.
It's tripping on us. I think it has something to do with that Cobra up there in the sky.
That's a little bit me, but
yeah.
Let's go and land this motherfucker.
It's getting a little shifty there. Let's watch the landing process.
Baller.
Dang, that's it right there. Let's put this bad boy away for a minute.
Okay.
Was that its maiden voyage or no?
No.
It's had a couple other adventures.
I got some footage for my hunt in Sweden.
Oh really?
That we got coming out, but
bro, it's another thing I didn't realize.
Maiden voyage was in Colorado.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I didn't realize how hard it is to try and manipulate things with one hand while using a camera. There we go. Just tuck that bad boy away.
So dude, we got this Marine Raider challenge coming up. You know, we like promoting We the Willing Collective. That's our homies that are doing art with meaning and really just chilling out, making some awesome art, dude. And we were on a group chat and we're like, hey, let's do this Marine Raider challenge. And you and I, it just made sense for us,
I don't know,
us
man.
to be partners, dude.
I don't know if I'm lying to myself or this is how it really happened, but I'm pretty sure you signed us up for it and then you called me and said, hey Steve, we're doing the Marine Raider challenge. And I'm like, bro, no, I'm not. But then I realized that I ain't a bitch, so
Yeah.
you know, so I had to step up.
And we're gonna have some fun, dude.
Yeah, why not? What other, you know, sometimes, Dan, I feel like as we get older, you have to take a second and make it happen, you know?
Yeah.
We all get busy in our lives, like doing whatever it is, college, working, trying to figure out how to manage a home life. And I think if we don't take that time, like each year, you're just gonna miss it, dude.
Yeah.
You just have to take time out of your year to spend time with the people that matter. Because if not, we're gonna be 50 years old wondering what happened.
Dude, and taking time to see each other. I like our plan of meeting up once a year to go do a guys hunt or something, dude.
Yeah, dude, I don't get jealous very often of people on Instagram or whatever, but when I see these dudes that go out and they're hunting with their homies, they're shooting big elk, like I can honestly say I'm envious of those guys. Like, it's an awesome thing, man. It speaks to my core. It's more than just being a trophy hunter or an ethical hunter or whatever it is. It's like, it's selfish for me, bro. Like, I need it for me as a man. It's something I value to teach to my son also, you know? I think that's like those soft skills and things like that that kind of get overlooked, that are really important. Help you feel like a man, you know?
Yeah. It's like, I think it's really opening up some of those like deep neural pathways from like our lizard brain, and just like the fact that we are predators, dude. You know, we have eyes on the front of our head for a reason, and it's just something about taking down a piece of prey that you know you're gonna eat, or like somebody's gonna eat, you know? It just feels so good. I can't
Yeah.
to try and describe the feeling. It's like it feels like everything's coming right with the world, you know? Like yourself, you're coming in connection with the earth, with the world, with this natural thing that we have going on, or at least what we perceive as natural.
Right. And unfortunately, it seems like, you know, as we became more civilized, it's something we kind of lost in our culture. It's something that we held near and dear.
Oh, big time.
It's just something that we did, you know, like growing up. If you didn't do it, you starved to death. So the thing though that I value about it, and the thing that I kind of want to embrace, is we got a nice little flyby by a Cobra here. Yeah. Some Marines having fun, spending those taxpayer dollars. Good on them, getting those reps in. But the thing that what I was saying is, it's like in our culture, dude, we've lost that process of becoming a man, you know? Like, kids don't have it, and that's what, like, my wife, she's Latina, so I go to a lot of quinceañeras with her, and it's this Mexican Latino tradition that when a woman hits that certain age, she becomes a woman. When a girl hits a certain age, she becomes a woman, and they have this ceremony, and they change her shoes from regular shoes to high heels, and she, at that point in her life, is labeled a woman, and she has a whole list of responsibilities and privileges allotted to her as becoming a woman. Dude, I think in American society right now, we don't have that for people. And you can see it because everyone's chasing that identity. They're trying to figure it out because, like, I know, like, I didn't ever have a ritual to become a man. I just, one day, I don't know, I just felt like I became one, you know? Obviously, I grew up in the military, you know, and it wasn't hard to get that sense of pride, but I just don't think that's allotted to the average person. We don't have those rituals anymore in our culture.
Do you feel like it was, like, an accumulation of life experiences that led to that? All of a sudden, like, you're like, okay, I'm a man now? Because, like, I did have a manhood ceremony, and I would say there's a difference in being, like, told you're a man by somebody and actually, like, fulfilling it, you know what I mean? But
well, I personally didn't, honestly. I think I was, as you were saying that, I was thinking about when it was that I got that feeling that I made it. But I struggle with that a lot, about accepting that I made it, you know? Yeah. I'm always chasing the dragon, but I can remember one time I went back to Alabama, that's where I grew up, and I visited my grandpa, who was like the most iconic man in my life. He like embodies everything about being a man, and I hope that I can emulate half of what he is. But he told me one day, he shook my hand, and I saw him, I gave him a big old hug, and he told me, he said, Cody, he said, I wish that I could spend one day in your shoes in your life right now. He's like, you're living the life that every man wishes that he could live at least once, and for whatever reason, they just don't, right? Some do, but most just don't, and they dream about it every day. And he's like, you might look up to me, He's like, but I'm so envious of you. Like, I look up to you right now because you made it. Like, you're doing everything that I would ever want to do, and I'm so happy for you. And I remember at that moment, dude, I was like, shit, man, like, that's my grandpa. The dude I respect more than anyone on the earth is telling me that he respects me, dude.
Yeah.
That he wishes he was me. And I'm like, wow. At that moment after that, I was like, that's the only time I can really think I had that feeling like, dude, I made it, bro. I'm finally here.
Which way?
Oh, we'll go straight.
Okay. Yeah, dude.
And I don't think a lot of people get that, dude.
No.
Either they don't have anyone in their life that they respect, or they just don't ever, no one cares about anything, dude, you know?
Or I think a lot of it is fear. A lot of it's people just not following their gut and like what they know is right for their life, or just letting influencers influence, dude. Like taking other people's shit onto yourself and letting it dictate their lives keeps them from doing those things. That's why you have such a large portion of the male population walking around feeling like they haven't fulfilled themselves as men, like they haven't done those things, you know? And it's, you know, whether it was someone came along and was like, hey, you can't do that because you have a kid now, or, you know, you're getting married so you can't go in special operations or do any type of that shit, you know? Anything that you would dictate is like, hey, this is the shit I want to do as a man, you know? What's keeping those people from doing that, you know?
Yeah, I can't really speak on women, right? Because I don't have a daughter. Even though I wish I did have a daughter, I would like a daughter.
Yeah.
Because I think, you know, that bond between a daughter and a man can't be replicated in any other, or a daughter and their dad can't be replicated any other way, you know? Like a father-son relationship is just different by nature, and it has to be. But I can speak to having a son, you know, and what's important to me there. And I had Christian probably 6 months, maybe a little bit less than 6 months before my first deployment. So I just barely got to see him being born and growing up, and then I had to leave him. And, you know, then I left him multiple times after that. And I had to watch him growing up over Facebook and social media, thank God, because, you know, no other war generation ever had these opportunities that we did to keep in touch. But I would always tell myself, like, you know, I think it's so important for a young kid to be able to look up to his dad and respect him. You know, and even though my presence wasn't there in his life, I felt like if anything happened to me, my son could be like, I want to be like my dad. You know, I want to step up. I want to be able to try and fill his shoes. And that motivation alone would be enough to carry him through the loss and make him into a man. And I think that a lot of young men don't have that in their lives either. They don't have a man in their life that they respect enough that they would want to emulate, or that motivates them to keep pushing forward. So they're breaking the society, dude. They don't have anything. They don't have a code. They don't know where they're going. They're chasing their tail, and they're letting CNN teach them how they're supposed to be.
Yeah. I think it really depends on what influencers they end up like falling into, right? Because you could go to let's say you wind up in college and you have a super commie professor. Like, chances are you might end up an Antifa member, you know, like if you didn't have that already, you know what I mean?
Right.
And all of a sudden this guy, he feels like this father figure to you. He's explaining to you his ideals, and you're like, oh, well, yeah, this makes sense to me, you know? Or let's say you stumble, you know, you have this guy from like middle of Africa or something who saw Arnold videos and he started fucking pumping iron and shit, you know, and got in shape. Like, it's weird how we can even find these things external to like being in our life, you know? I would say it's better to just have it right there, you know? But it depends on what direction it is headed. Is it headed in a positive direction? Is somebody like teaching you how to be a good man, you know? Or like you said, your son being able to take, let's say, you know, you did die, he was able to take your life story and draw from that and, you know, move in a positive direction or find inspiration from it. But like like myself, I think, you know, I was blessed in that I did have a father who was like really instilling a lot of that man stuff in us, you know, taking us out, building, you know, setting up camp, and we'd like set up, like he was in the National Guard.
Yeah.
So being a weekend warrior, he'd get a little excited about the military and stuff and want to do it even at home.
Yeah.
I would say it's a little different on active duty. You don't always want to like do a field operation when you don't have to.
Yeah.
You know, because you're doing them all the time. But so we'd set up like little field like tents with like all his military gear, and we're just like he's setting up land nav courses for us and all, and teaching us those like life skills at a very early age. We're doing ambush patrols on each other, my brother and I, like learning how to do L shapes and stuff.
Yeah.
Like really like almost child soldierous, but I think in a responsible way. And it definitely groomed us for our future, you know? And I think I feel very fortunate, like I began saying, and that I had that, because I think it really set me up, you know? I didn't have to look for something external necessarily. And I was able to find it within myself.
Did you ever feel like it was a choice that you were in the military, or did it just it was just one of those things that was gonna happen? Like it was just in your bones, it was in your DNA?
It was meant to be, dude. And like, yeah, I feel like, you know, people talk about like having a warrior spirit, or, you know, it's like in your blood. Like, to a certain degree, yeah, I think my genetic expression in whatever that is the warrior type, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like born and bred for it, like, and raised for it. So we were told in no other certain terms that you either serve your country or, you know, you're not necessarily part of the Brown family. Like,
damn, dude.
tree.
Damn.
And that's my father and his two brothers. They both served too. One was in the Marines, one was in the Air Force. So
yeah.
Like, and it was weird because he started it with his generation, you know, like his father didn't serve, our grandfather didn't serve, you know, so like it really started with him. It's something that he, like, it meant a lot to him, you know, and he wanted to instill that in us.
Oh, that's awesome, dude. I asked that because like, you know, I grew up in Alabama, and my dad's side of the family was all here on the West Coast. I was like born here, but I didn't even know that side of the family, right? So as I'm in high school, I'm sitting in English class and I watched the 9/11, you know, the things that happened on 9/11, the two towers coming down, and just watching that whole thing on a little bitty TV on one of those roller stands, you know, that all the teachers used to have strapped down on the top. And I just had something inside of me ever since I saw that made me want to serve. So I ended up joining up and whatnot, and everything was cool. But I got stationed on the West Coast. So once I did, that opened up that opportunity for me to meet that side of my family I didn't know, like my dad's side of the family, my aunts, my grandparents. It was like super awesome. It was almost like I never left. They're really great people. Yeah. But as I got to know them, I started to learn that my grandpa served, right? And then I started learning that his dad served and his dad served. And not only did they serve, like, my great grandpa was an LCU driver in Normandy. He was the guy that was on that little flat boat while he was letting the Marines off and everyone off at the Army off right there on the beach head.
Big ass target coming up to the beach.
Yeah, he did one in Normandy and did one in the Pacific. I can't remember, I'm not gonna make up an island, but he was an LCU driver for 2 tours, which I think, dude, gives you balls of steel, man, because I don't know that I could do that. And then my grandfather, his son, he was a brown water Navy guy, and went up and down the Da Nang with dual 50 cals for 2 tours in Vietnam. And I never knew that. I never knew it. You know, I didn't even know that about my great grandfather until he passed and I read his obituary. And it's wild that I had that moment where I was like, maybe I didn't even have a choice about this. I didn't know any of these fun facts. I didn't have a particularly patriotic family or anything like that. But something drove me, you know, something drove me and my brother to both join. I just think that's kind of weird, man.
It's in your blood, dude. I really think it is. It's like, yeah, it's so much a part of who we are. It's like, even when we leave it, while we feel like this, like, still attachment to it with like the whole soft mistress stuff, you know, which I talked about in a different podcast you can check out. But it's, yeah, I think there's something to that.
Yeah, so just take a second and just look down here. You can see it like breaching into the valley here.
It just really opens up. We've been walking on this like flat area.
Yeah.
On this cool like red dirt. I like this red dirt.
Do you want to throw up the?
Yeah, let's throw up the drone right here and get a shot. But dude, it's awesome. I love this country, this hill country in California.
It's nice, man. You forget about it when you're gone. So you want to go ahead and set that up?
Yeah.
Do a little time lapse on it for the video.
Yeah, dude, sweet. These Cobras and stuff, that's what I liked living near Camp Pendleton.
Yeah, you can see him doing a little pass over the doing some kind of.
Even if you're not deployed,
here.
it's like these things fly over and it takes you straight back, dude. You're just like remembering Trek Nawa and just like Taliban coming. They're like, oh, who are these new dudes?
Sons of Satan, bro.
In our block. Let's go fuck with them.
Hell yeah.
They'd attack us every fucking day.
That's the game changer,
for like
man.
30 days straight, and we killed the shit out of them, dude. It was awesome.
It's new age guerrilla warfare, dude.
We'd bring these helos in. We had Cobras doing gun runs, the Hueys with the minigun.
Swinging through and
Shit
cleaning them
was
up.
So fucking awesome. I don't know how somebody could be traumatized by that, dude. It's like you're at the like most badass heavy metal concert you've ever been to. Just like right there up on the stage with those guys. Just like, oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah. It's
like,
that undescribable energy that you can't get anywhere else, dude. But a metal concert's pretty close. That collective energy and that feeling, dude, where you just want to lose your mind. All right, cool. So we'll get some footage of this bad boy starting up.
Yeah. Doop. So, dude, yeah, so we're doing this Raider challenge. We're gonna, dude, the reason I signed you up and the reason, like, I want to do this is I'm tired of veterans bitching all the time and just talking about how bad their situations are. Like, yeah, we're fucked up. Like, but there's things we can do about it, you know? There's positive directions we can move in. And we don't have to be stuck at home, you know? We can come out, enjoy nature. Reuniting with your brothers and like hanging out is some of the best stuff you can do to keep sane, you know? Like getting out of the house.
Yeah, man, I agree, dude. I think, you know, I'm guilty of this too. Somewhere along the way, you know, you forget the why and what you're doing. You know, we're task-oriented people, and we, you know, put our focus to it, and we just accomplish those things, and then we get into the rhythm of where we're just trying to figure out the how on everything, and we forget the why. And I think I'm guilty of that mainly I mean, that's probably the reason why I got out, because I forgot that why. I lost track of why I was even doing it. And then it makes everything else, you know, either get taken for granted or you just lose your joy in it, which is sad. But I think we were talking about it at breakfast yesterday. It's just that toxic mentality of the veteran, you know, the broken veteran, the PTSD veteran, the suicide, the 22 a day. And these things are real. And to say they're not would be crazy, because it is. But I think that mentality, dude, it gets implanted in your brain. And then it's like cancer. It spreads and it manifests. And then, you know, I think the only way to break out of that's by going and doing like a Raider challenge, you know, getting up off the couch and going out there and remembering why you love this stuff.
Therefore, while I was thinking that the event stuff for veterans is a little hokey. It's like, cool, you show up for a week and then you're gone. It's like, okay, now it's over. Like,
yeah.
And now you're back by yourself again, right? But I think it's important to do it still, because what I've found is meeting up at these events, you're doing something cool you all guys like, well, maybe not the Raider Challenge, but some guys don't like finning. I actually like finning in the ocean. And
I don't.
Going on long walks and doing pool activities. So yeah. I'm going to enjoy myself. But like going on these hog hunts, like Gila hog hunts and stuff like that, doing the off-roading stuff together, like, yeah, the event happens and it's over, but it's stuff you're learning, like how other guys are dealing with the same shit, and you're not just trying to deal with it by yourself. Like, that's the big takeaway, because honestly, in between those events, that time's on you. Like, that's time for you to step up and like make something happen for yourself. You know what I mean? And take some ownership of your life. And yeah, and it's good to have somebody with regular, you know, on regular intervals, like meeting up with you and stuff. Like, I have my brother that I'm hanging out with all the time. Granted, we're getting ready to move away from each other, so I'm gonna have to find something that works, you know?
Yeah.
But
it'll be good, dude. I'm glad you signed me up, and you know, I think that's the power of it too. Like you said, we're not. You might have your injuries, right?
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean you're broken. Oh, there it goes, back up.
Dude, I want to race these drones.
Yeah.
That's the future, dude. That's the future of sports. We're not even gonna like, our bodies have nothing to do with it. We're just gonna have like robots fighting each other and shit.
That in VR, right?
What's that like movie that came out that had the, who's it, the guy who plays Wolverine?
Hugh Jackman?
Yeah, he just came out with that robot fighting movie.
No, I haven't seen it.
Dude, did
I'm
you,
the worst with movies.
did you see that movie, Robot Jocks growing up?
No.
Oh my God, dude, we
Robot
need to watch
Jocks.
that.
Got to get you a gimbal on this thing too.
Yeah,
It's gonna be bumpy. Just, I mean, by the nature of the beast, we're on a trail walk, so.
yeah. I mean, if people want to start sponsoring the Dangerzone, that'd be awesome. 'Cause so far, all this equipment is out of my pocket.
Yeah. Well, hey, if you want it bad enough, you gotta do it.
You gotta take
Everything
some risks,
else
dude.
will come, right? If you build it, they will come.
Yeah.
I mean, you can sit around and wait for the world to do it for you, but sometimes you just gotta come out of pocket and do what you need to do. This view is so nice, man. I love it. Coming down this trail here, just come down this trail, it whips around and it goes down into the meadow. It's almost like you're not in Southern California anymore. You forget because there's so many people and so much traffic and so much hustle and bustle. It's like so many spots in California, you can just pull off the interstate, drive 5 miles one direction, and you're out here in pretty pristine area.
Let's get that again, where we don't have our friends with us on the trail.
Guess they decided to find a better route. I don't blame them.
Yeah.
It would definitely ruin your hike if you took a spill down the hill. They're out here getting it. Can't say
Yeah.
anything about that.
Nope. All right. You want to grab the bag and we'll
Yeah.
move out as we go.
Okay, cool.
I'll just do a flyby. Dude, getting out in nature has been huge for me too. Just, again, I mean, it's easy to get caught up in your own little world. And you miss out on the healing power of nature. as
The healing power of nature.
as our boy, what's his name? The American Gladiator. Cosmic rays, bro. I was healed by the sun. Hanging out on the beach, got a beautiful babe. You know, healed by Mother Nature. Dude, there's something to it though.
Yeah, man. I forgot, honestly, for a minute. And, you know, I've been stuck at home doing college work and sitting behind a computer. And as you know, Dan, I'm not that type of person, dude. I'm an extrovert. I'm a people person. Like, I need that engagement constantly.
Yeah.
You know, and oh shit.
Oh, shit.
There we go. That's going to go on the blooper reel.
Oh no, that's going in there, dude.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. So, like, me being stuck at home after getting out alone all day long with no one to talk to besides my weenie dog, like, it's been brutal. It's been brutal on my serotonin levels. It's been brutal on just everything, man. It makes it so much worse, you know, trying to go through this transition and figure out what I'm going to do. But when you called me and told me we were going to be doing the Raider Challenge together, I was like, fuck, man. My self-pride definitely supersedes my laziness. So it kind of forced me to get outside and, you know, start doing some trail running. I hate running on the treadmill, man. I hate running on a track. I hate running on the concrete, on the sidewalks. Like, you know, yeah, it's self-limiting factors. So I started looking around and finding trails like this, you know, with scenery like this, and getting out there and just pushing myself, man. A good trail at a decent pace will kick your ass, dude. And it's like really helped me realize that I need more of this in my life. No matter how much I just want to sit in that office and sit in that chair and type away, like, I have to make time for this at least a couple times a week.
Yeah.
Is it on track mode now?
I haven't been able to get that to work yet. Let's see if I can do it on the move, dude.
Yeah, be careful. You're gonna take a header, break your ankle. You're too heavy for me to carry
Dude,
back now. Couldn't do it. I got little bird legs.
Got it.
I'd probably give up on you, Dan, and leave you out here to die.
Oh, it says aircraft too low, dude.
Huh. Well, it
Oh,
probably
I
sees the
got us.
trees around us.
I got us, dude.
Do you?
Yeah,
Heck
now
yeah.
we're doing a 30% rotation around.
Does the camera automatically like slew itself to your position, or do you have to adjust it?
Yeah, it's tracking us, dude.
Oh, really? Dang, that's
Yeah.
so cool, dude. So cool. China's tracking us right now. You know what?
That's
I
all
think
right,
China
dude.
gets a bad rap,
Yeah.
except for the whole Korean War thing. You know.
Well, and the whole like communists and killing a bunch of people.
Yeah,
you know.
but you know that's their gig. You know, who am I to tell people what to do? But you know, now I think we could be friends, man. I think we could be friends.
Think it's gonna lose us here in the brush?
It might. Let's see here.
Subject lost. Searching.
Yeah.
Well, maybe the Chinese technology isn't that great.
Dude, I was walking down through here and I caught a dude taking a piss last time I was running. He looked more shocked than me. Easy.
I almost frapped in on a rock. I'm not talking about the drone. I'm talking about me, personally. I feel like
Easy. Yeah, we're gonna step back so we can get this
feel
on
like
the.
this helicopter's
There we go
gonna
on that
wreck my
highlight
shit.
reel.
We're playing with fire here, dude. Come back, dude.
Oh, what's happening? It's tripping out. What's that noise?
It's low battery, dude.
Oh God. All right, here we go. Let's watch this landing.
Find it for a minute.
Shift it left a little so you don't hit those rocks. There we go. Boom. ITG in it like a gangster.
Yeah, I pretty much have my pilot's license, so. You know.
That's legit, dude. Nailed it. Cool.
I should be wearing my flight suit right now, honestly. So yeah,
Just hold
dude. I
up.
mean, yeah, we're walking.
You want to put it away right now?
Yeah, I'll do it on the move.
You know, I was thinking, man, when we were talking about not having a father or an influence in your life to kind of like teach you the way or impart those things. Like nowadays we have YouTube, dude. You know, if you're not on there watching pod challenges and shit like that, like, or meme videos all day long, you could really teach yourself anything you want to know. So like over the past couple of years, I've been on this kind of quest to find authenticity, you know, find out who I really am, find out my own unique path here in life. And I realized that the people that I hung out with were kind of like echo chambers, you know. They're like-minded, they say the same stuff, and
They say the same stuff.
we're always talking about the same type of topics. Like, Dan, I know if I need some self-validation, I call you, homie, you know? I call you because I could tell you that I truly believe the earth is flat. And in some crazy way, you're gonna support me in that. Even though you might not agree with me, you'll support me, dude. Like, but you know, I felt like I had that missing link. I didn't have that mentorship as a kid or whatnot. So, you know, I think you and Vince argue about who first got into the podcast listening game.
Oh,
you know,
no.
who first started listening to Joe Rogan, but
I'll set the record straight there. Vince started first, dude. He's
All
the
right.
one that told me about Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Actually. So I was in the dark, man. Vince definitely showed me the light. So I'll go ahead and clear that up. But go
cool.
ahead.
Yeah, so you guys were always talking about Joe Rogan and podcasting and all that, and I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm not gonna listen to these dudes talk on the internet or whatever, you know, on iTunes for 3 hours. For what? What do they have that I need, you know? But then I realized, like, they have perspective, dude. They have perspective. And then outside of Joe Rogan, you know, listening to other different podcasts, I realized that I could take my circle that I normally have.
Yeah.
Which is, what's that saying? You know, you're the average of the 5 people you keep around you the most. You're just the average. You're not better than, you're not less than, you're just in the middle. You're the average of what they are. So
You are who you surround yourself by type deal?
yeah, so dude, I realized that, and I was like, hey, I kind of have what I have. And most of the time, you know, with our rotations, like, we'd always be split up. We wouldn't get to hang out. So I realized I could listen to people like Tim Ferriss, listen to people like Joe Rogan, listen to Radio Lab, listen to all these different things, and I could increase my average, because even though I'm not physically with these people, I'm spending 2 hours a day, you know, listening to them. Yeah, this is my favorite part right here.
This is beautiful.
It's so dope. Yeah.
And you feel like you're in the room with them, dude. That's the cool thing about podcasts. And
yeah, and you can't control what they're going to talk about. You know, you never know what they're going to say. Whether you support it or you don't, at least you're thinking about it. You probably would have never thought about that your entire day.
what I'm trying to do here is help people feel like they're with us, you know? Like on this walk, like I'm not sitting here talking about, hey, you need to get out of the house. Like as you're listening to this podcast, I am outside the house. I'm not in my recording studio, you know?
Yeah.
Like come join us on this walk. And on the YouTube video, that's, you know, I really wish people would check that out because I feel like it's a more immersive experience. But, you know, it's something you can put on your living room, you know, TV, open the YouTube app and throw on this podcast and you'll see these awesome 4K, you know, drone footage then brought into the conversation, the hike with us, you know? And you're right, dude, it's real and people can interact. And like when even on Joe Rogan's shit, I mean, he posts online and you can comment on the videos and stuff. You can join the conversation, you know?
Yeah, so I guess I say that. I think about those veterans, dude, that got out and they moved back to, you know, corn country, Iowa, or they moved out and they're like in the middle of BFE, Alabama, you know, in my case, for example, maybe, you know, and they feel like they're alone. They don't have anyone that's like-minded. You know, they might go to the VFW and they're talking to some old dude from like whatever, you know, and they just can't relate. I think this is such a great option, dude, for dudes to be able to come together, you know, and even though it's kind of one-sided on the conversation here, to kind of feel like they're there, you know, they're increasing their average maybe of the people that they're hanging out with. And who knows, dude?
Well, just, and it gives you a chance to speak your voice, dude. Like, you know, even do the act of doing it and putting stuff out there. Because honestly, I was the dude while I was in who was like, you know, what we did is sacred. Like, you know, shouldn't be writing books. Like, writing journals is for pussies. Like, all that shit, you know? But ultimately, we have life experience and, like, a lot to share with the world. And not keep it all inside yourself. Like, get out of your own OODA loop, you know? And throw some shit out there. And that's what I started doing. I just started creating. I made some silly videos about cooking with my dog on YouTube, you know?
Yeah, those videos are hilarious.
And it's just, it felt so good. It didn't matter that they sucked and the first ones were like 20 minutes long. You should still watch them because there's a bunch of little hidden gems in there. But I needed to learn how to edit videos. I needed to learn how to create. I needed to find myself. It's like my mantra, dude, get weird with it. Just start doing something, you know, getting out of that rut and just, I started painting, doing yoga, like meditating, sailing, like hunting, all that stuff. Even though I grew up in Arkansas, we'd go hunting, but I'd never killed a deer until I got out. Everybody's like, you know, assumes because you're in the military or some like big hunter or whatever, or you know everything about guns. That's a big one. Like, dudes coming up to you just like, oh, I got that new AR with the blah, blah, blah on it, you know? I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about, dude.
Yeah.
And I don't care. But
you're like, I don't know what they call it. I just know the sound it makes when it kills a man.
Dude, yeah. You know? And brilliance in the basics, dude. But yeah, just I think people can benefit a lot from getting out and exploring new stuff, see if they like it, you know?
Yeah, I think, you know, Joe Rogan says this a lot. You know, it's those YouTube videos and his podcast are like one of the only forums where you can sit and talk to someone for 3 hours, man.
Yeah.
2 hours in a sitting. You can do 5 seconds or 5 minutes of anything, right? But getting down and getting to know somebody like one-on-one and hearing them, even if you're not there, you're hearing them as a human. You can't bullshit for 3 hours. And you can't bullshit for 3 hours with someone like Joe Rogan, right? Or Tim Ferriss or any of these other master interviewers. You're just not gonna do it. But what I think is powerful about it, man, is that you get to see authenticity, dude. You get to see us, like right here, you know, how we are every day. Like, you know, you go into my house, it's not perfectly clean all the time. You know, my car's dirty right now. These shoes are 5 years old. Like, it is what it is, man, but it's not about that. You know, we chase the Kardashians, we chase the Instagram videos and all that stuff, thinking that's how our life's supposed to be, and all we feel is inadequate, you know?
Yeah.
But
Well, speak for yourself on that.
no one lives like that, Dan. You know that. No one lives like
I know.
that for real. No one's life
Yeah.
is perfect.
Yeah.
And if their house is perfect, they probably have a maid.
No,
you know?
no. I'm saying the inadequacy part. Dude, I love just coming up and like on natural points like this. You know, your dog would just come up here and like stand on the edge of this rock, just like all proud and be like, okay, I'm gonna survey this area. Like, let me see if there's some rabbits or squirrels or
Look
some shit.
for some movement. Your dog for sure. Your dog's a killer. Mine's a little weenie dog. Only
Dude.
thing she kills is her stuffed animals and any plastic object that
I mean,
can
let's
be
be real.
grabbed.
My dog is really nice. He's not a killer, but
in his
go
blood,
follow him
dude.
at Odin's Adventures. But back to what you're saying, dude. It's like,
Hashtag Odin's Adventures.
Yeah,
Insert
seriously.
plug here.
dude, people love his shit so much more than me. He's a little star. But back to the perception versus reality. Yeah, people are looking at the Kim Kardashians and all these people that just are living in these fake worlds, dude. Just like so much silicone and just like fakeness, man. This is raw. This is not being afraid to throw yourself out there.
Yeah,
and feeling
vulnerability,
dumb,
dude.
yeah. Like putting my migraine state, as uncomfortable as it looks, on video, dude, and putting it out there for people to see you in pain, and like,
No, it sucks, dude.
but it's important because other people see it and they're like, you know what, I'm dealing with that shit too. I'm not alone, and there's shit we can do about it. You don't have to be like stuck in that and like letting the pain of life, right, whatever that is, emotional depression, like, you know, shit getting you down, work, all that stuff. You don't have to let it get to you, man. Like, you have ownership of your life. You can choose your perspective and your outlook on it. You know, it's mindset, dude. We were talking a lot about that yesterday. I wish we had captured that whole conversation.
Yeah, it is. It's something we don't guard enough now, dude. You know, it's as I'm getting a little bit older, I'm starting to realize like what I put into my brain is just as important as my diet. You know, the things that I'm thinking about is so important, and the brain is such a powerful drug. Like, we just get on YouTube, we watch all this trash, we turn on the TV, we watch all this trash, and we wonder why we're hurting inside. You know, when we're so sad, we feel detached. Like,
Watching the news too much.
it's not reality, man. It's not real. It's not real. And I think that's like the beauty of the Trump election, you know, is that to realize like really anything can fucking happen. Anything can happen. And there's a lot of real people out there that aren't on that CNN tip, just trying to fucking give the United States away every day that we get, you know, they have the opportunity.
Yeah, and I mean, I've been really guilty of it. Like when I first got out, just burying myself in the news, getting involved in a political campaign, dude, was just a nightmare. It's like people are so nasty in that world. It really is a swamp that just like infects almost every part of our society, you know? And if you let it, it will just like put you in a bad spot, dude. Like you will feel like the world's really fucked up. And you know what? It's not, dude. Like there's so much good shit going on. It's just that doesn't sell.
And let's be real, the real bullshit that's happening doesn't make it on TV anyways.
No,
you know,
it doesn't.
those poor cries fall on deaf ears.
My recent travels, like I've seen just how much bullshit is getting reported and they're not getting the real story. Like the shit that's going on in Sweden will blow your fucking mind. Like that, you want to talk about alternate reality, dude. The Swedish people are living in an alternate world, dude.
It's wild, bro.
The stuff with the migration there is insane. And
Do you want to keep walking?
yeah, dude.
There's a cool little adobe down here.
I was just vibing this rock, dude.
Yeah, I feel you, dog.
But yeah, I've just learned to, like, when I go on nature hikes, I'm not about like, let's get to the destination. I'm more about the journey type of guy. Even when I'm riding my motorcycle across country, it's like my father, I went on a ride with him. He just wanted to blast through, dude. Like, we're going to Albuquerque from Dallas. Like, let's go.
Albuquerque, dude. I love that place.
And
It's so dirty, and I love it.
and dude, we didn't stop. And dude, my brain's getting all fatigued. I'm like, man, I shouldn't be riding right now. Like, fucking seeing stars and shit
Yeah.
at night, like on the road. But
That's trippy, dude.
yeah, so I'm more about like stopping, checking some shit out. If you got to stay a night somewhere in some, you know, alien town like in New Mexico, like fuck it, you know. But also just going as simple as like going out on a trail hike. If I come across a view I want to remember, I'll break some leaves off a branch or something, or like you know, some evergreen tree, and I'll crunch them up in my hands, get that aroma going.
Yeah.
And then I'll just hold it up to my nose, dude, as I'm like looking around and taking in all the scenery. And what I'm doing is building memories, dude.
See that hawk sitting over there on the top of that bush? The green bush right
Oh
there?
yeah, dude.
I'm just waiting.
Waiting for a little mouse or a fucking rabbit to fuck up.
Yeah, dude, stop and smell the flowers, bro.
Yeah.
You know, it's an old term, but we don't do it enough anymore. We're too busy hustling and bustling, just trying to, you don't get to go home anymore from work. You know, you got email, people got cell phones, like you never get to unplug. Where traditionally you could come home, drop your briefcase, sit at the dinner table with your family, and even if that's all you got, at least you had that, you know, that around the dinner table with your family moment to decompress. But now we never unplug, dude. We're just stuck in the matrix 24/7.
Well, dude,
Wondering why we're always exhausted.
so your olfactory nerve is your strongest memory builder, right?
Yep, for sure.
So that's why I started trying to utilize that. Because if you think about all your fucked up memories that'll come up from sights and smells, like that people deal with, I think, you know, maybe people with real PTSD deal with and shit like that, you know? I would say a way to combat that is start building positive memories with your olfactory nerve, dude. Some of those smells, like go do some positive shit with the smell that's bothering you and try and fucking change that memory. Change that like little pathway in your brain that tells you, like, reminds you of that fucked up thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, would that be
So,
like a cognitive behavioral therapy type
I guess.
thing? I don't even know what
I've
that
just
means,
been doing
dude.
it
I
on
heard my wife say it. I don't even know what it means.
I've been doing it on my own and just like, what I've noticed that I've done it enough now, when I get like, when all of a sudden I get a whiff of like some like pines or something or this or that, all of a sudden it's like shoo, 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 flashes of all these times I'm on like these rock edges and like hanging out in nature and stuff. Dude, it's awesome. It's just like a lift. It's like, oh, like just brings you back to that moment, dude. And it's like a positive memory effect. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're reprogramming that feedback loop.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's just so much shit we can do to better our situation. That's why I love listening to Joe Rogan. He's always talking about like human optimization, stuff they're doing it like on it and all that stuff. And like, there's just, we're living in a cool time where there's so much you can do to program yourself with like CRISPR, mesenchymal stem cells, like, so.
Yeah, man, on the topic of that, like, you know, using technology and just trying to keep your head going, dude. I've been doing Headspace for a little while now, and that's what I would do on my runs, on my nature trails. When I'd run and get ready for this Raider Challenge, I would sit down in the middle and I would do my 15 minutes of Headspace. And one of the craziest things that I've had with it, every once in a while, I'd say maybe 2 or 3 times, I've had kind of that feeling where I was high. Like I was out of my body and I kind of just got totally immersed in it, but I haven't been able to replicate that very many times. Like, it's just, I'm not sure what the combination of events was that led up to those, but I'm always kind of chasing that dragon because it's so awesome. But the biggest thing about it is just staying focused, right? Like being mindful of what's going on. So you think about your feet, you think about your knees, like your belly button, your solar plexus, your throat, your brow, and then above your head. And you go through there and you just keep your brain focused on those things, just tuning into your body, feeling your breath. But one of the craziest phenomenons during it is like for me, I'm always battling my attention while I'm doing it. I'm like, stay focused, dude. And then I'm thinking about something totally different, you know, and it's just a battle the whole time to stay on track. But in the last 5 minutes of the actual meditation, he says, all right, give your mind permission to think about whatever you want to think about. And in that moment, dude, my mind is as clear as it could be the entire time. When I give my brain permission to just flow as it needs to, it's more focused than the entire time. Like, it's so crazy.
I've benefited so much from guided meditations, dude. I saw a shaman lady in Dallas, Coyote Healing Temple.
Yeah.
It's awesome, dude.
A coyote healing temple. I don't like it.
Yeah, you got a war on coyotes.
Yeah, I hate coyotes.
That's a trigger word with you, dude.
Yep.
But
they drew first blood, dude. So we got a couple options here, Dan. We can go down past this adobe house and go around the loop, or we can keep going the way we are. We'll just keep going. We're already on the path. Let's not change it up.
Cool.
But we can go down and it'll loop around.
Do people live here?
No, no. It's just a state. They open it up sometimes, like I think for schools they'll do like Native American Heritage Day or something. They have old
come back by here, get some drone footage.
Yeah, yep. We can come back by and set up in front of the adobe and get some good footage.
Yeah, and then on the way back, I mean, we don't have to record anything. We just kind of enjoy some of this nature or whatever.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I like this little area because it comes down, it dips down, and it turns to like Fern Gully. There's a little creek that rolls through, everything turns green. The temperature goes down about 10 degrees.
This is an awesome spot.
Bro, it's so much fun to run too.
Oh yeah.
It's a nice soft trail. The inclines aren't too crazy. It's good, man.
You could get some earthing here. The rocks aren't too bad. Like you could do some barefoot walking here too. But I don't know, there's a lot of scat on this trail. Might walk away with a couple parasites, but there's...
Bro, dude, when I was little, I lived in a trailer and we always had a lot of flies in the house, right? So we take those the old fly traps, they're like this big, little circular cardboard, and you pull the nail out the bottom, it's a tack and it has a hook and it pulls the whole sticky part down. And then I guess maybe it has sugar in there, attracts the flies, they get stuck on it. Well, what would happen is those tacks would fall out. And I remember walking through the house one day and I stepped on a tack on my heel, right in the meaty portion of my heel. It shoved the tack in and then the hook that pulls the actual fly trap down was wedged into the tissue.
Oh shit.
Bro, when I tell you that was like the most painful experience to that point in my life, I was like probably like 5 years old. Oh my God, having to pull that thing out and the whole like plug of tissue that came with it was so brutal. So you won't catch me walking barefoot anywhere, homie. I learned my lesson on that.
Dude, growing up in Arkansas in the backwoods on 11 acres, I was running around barefoot everywhere, dude. My mom called me Dirt Bomb.
Walking barefoot anywhere,
homie. Yeah.
Yeah, I bet, dude.
We'd
Bet you're the Blackfoot tribe.
We'd come back and she just like, you get undressed and she just spray you off with a hose. Like, just in the yard, just like.
Hell yeah.
Back when in the 80s kids, dude, where you'd just be gone all day. Like, parents didn't give a fuck. Like, you didn't have as much shit to worry about. Or else, that's one of the, I guess, downfalls of access to information is we know more about the evil in the world than we ever did. You know? It was still out there. There was still like, you know, child predators and stuff roaming around. It's not like shit was just like sunshine and rainbows back then, you know? But I would say it's almost gone too far now where people are so protective, and you gotta be in some sense, but at the same time, I think kids are missing out on a lot. They're not allowed to fuck up, dude. Like, they're not allowed to go out and get some bumps and bruises and scrapes and just like, be a kid.
Yeah, Jordan Peterson in that book I'm reading by his that just came out. I'm not reading it. Don't let me lie to you. I listen to audiobooks.
No, that's the same thing.
Because I'm retarded. I'll read the same paragraph for like 2 days straight.
Yeah, and you won't get it read. Yeah.
Right. So it's not efficient for me to do it. So I have to listen to it. But anyways, he talks about the importance of having a kid that's competent or having a kid that's safe. Right. So traditionally, like Dan was saying in the 80s, like you just figured it out. You know, you got bumps and bruises, you rubbed some dirt on it, and you figured out life skills and you became competent. But now we don't. Everything's on safety now. So we want a safe kid. And then as they grow up to try and become adults, they're incompetent. Like they just are. That's, you know, a huge part of this generation right now. And I could see it in the Navy, you know, with all the younger kids coming in. They're safety conscious, which that's cool or whatever, right? But they're totally incompetent. And you can't have both. You know, you have to have those bumps and bruises to figure out. You have to burn your hand before you realize you can't grab the pot of water with a bare hand. It sucks, but that's the way that we learn.
And that there's a difference in being super safety conscious and being able to make a risk assessment, right? Like, hey, I know this is risky, but I know I'm in the best situation to like tackle this situation. Like me jumping from a helicopter, like, you know, like shit like that.
Onto a wild boar.
Yeah, like
that. I don't think that was a competence or a safety consideration.
I calculated it. And granted, it didn't go as I planned, but
you did the Pythagorean theorem.
But
or something?
I was okay, dude. Most people say that that's insane and you should never do that. But I walked away from it, like.
But Dan, it is insane. Let's not deny that. It's insane. But you know, hey, it worked out.
But what I'm saying is, there's a benefit to being willing to take a leap in life. You know, you get to experience so much more when you're not so safety conscious.
Pirates code, bro.
And dude, I was even raised. One of my father's saying is, here's a couple of them: work, work, work. That's what I always say. So, I'm a hard worker.
Yeah.
Work before play. That's what I always say. He always says that's what I always say after everything. And then is like safety first. It was like his big deal, dude. It was like really safety conscious. Like, but in a practical way. Like, here's the reasons why you need to take the safety precaution, right? But still not risk averse, right? So like, there's some shit you do. You do all the safety stuff you can do, but then you still do it. I guess that's where I have a problem, is when people don't do the thing they want to because they're like, oh,
scared to get hurt.
This isn't safe enough, you know? It's like, well, yeah, there isn't a bubble ball for this event. Like, you know, like you can't get fucked up. Like jumping, dude, skydiving. Like you've burned in on a jump.
Yeah.
Like
Cypress Fire Steve, bro.
You do everything leading up, the safety checks and all that stuff, and at some point you got to say, I'm jumping out of this airplane.
Dude.
You know what I mean? Like you can't. It takes that leap.
Dude, not to interrupt you, but that reminds me of this time at the at Sockham, and we had to go do our jumps with the Army, right?
Yeah.
And we get there, and they throw the stake truck shows up, and they just throw 75 static line parachutes out on the ground, just willy-nilly throwing them out there, didn't give a damn, right? So we come up there, we pick one from the pile, we get our reserve, making sure we don't grab it by that red carrying handle, and then we go and we jock each other up. We do buddy work, we jock each other up, we go through the best that we can with the most amount of knowledge that we have, coming straight out of the schoolhouse with 5 jumps as an E3, right? So I remember at the schoolhouse, you know, in Benning, Georgia, they would meticulously go down, and all their jump masters would just be anal about every little safety factor about the rig. You couldn't take your hand off your head and all these different rules. So I'm jocking up, I'm a little nervous because I was used to that safety factor, right? And then I go to line up in my chalk to get on the bird, and I'm expecting the jump master to come by. And he comes over, he looks at me, I was like, hey, are we gonna do jump master checks? And he looks at me and goes, fuck it, I'd jump it. And he smacks my parachute and tells me to jump on the airplane. And dude, if I'm telling you, that wasn't the most like scary thing at that time, you know. I'm like, oh my God, what the hell? Like, because it had been ingrained in me, like you have to do these methodical checks all the time. Yeah. And you know, and what it told me is, hey, sometimes you just got to step up, dude. Sometimes things aren't going to be perfect. Everything's not going to be meticulous. Just have faith and confidence in your training, right? Have faith and confidence in your code, whatever it is, and just push forward, dude.
Be ready to act, take action, be a man of action, dude.
Yep, confidence is the majority of everything, you know, like being confident. But
even when you're not good, you're good.
Dude, it's like at free fall. Remember the first time you pack your parachute? That's the chute you jump the next day.
I was just gonna say that. Like,
so crazy.
Like, you're packing this thing up. It's you're getting tested out, dude. So you're already like, okay, am I gonna pass this test?
Yeah.
Like, on packing a chute, and then they're like, okay, yeah, it looks good. Yeah, you're jumping this thing. Like,
Dude.
and you're like, you've only done like what, 5 packs or something up to
Yeah,
that point?
maybe
Like,
in the
like,
instructor did
yeah.
half of it for you.
Yeah.
Because you were too retarded to figure it out.
And then this is like, this isn't static line. There's nothing pulling your chute. Like, you're careening towards the earth and you got to pull that shit on your own.
Yep.
Like, and hope that you made the steps and that person is, you know, using their eyeballs checking you, like, that they know what they're doing, you know?
Yeah, man.
I don't know.
There's power in it, though. There's power in that. There's power in just saying, hey, man, just do it. Just step up, perform. And it gives you that confidence to be a man when you need to be.
I can't really put my finger on it, but I think what we were talking about earlier, about the warrior being in your blood and stuff, I think I have, you know, some people would say like a screw loose or something. You know, like, but I've never had a problem taking like action like that, like jumping out on my first free fall. Didn't bother me at all, dude. I was like, this is awesome. As I was exiting the plane, it wasn't like, oh shit, I hope this works out. I just knew it was. It's almost like, I think it's mindset. I purposely put myself in a mindset of just willing shit into being, you know? Like, this is gonna work out because I'm gonna make it work out, you know?
Yeah, you know how I feel about that, dude, because we had a pretty lengthy discussion about the fact that I don't believe everybody's resilient, dude. I think it's something that you're kind of born with, and it's by design, but you know, it throws a monkey wrench in this equality thing. You know, we want equality of outcome, we want equality of opportunity, but that's to say that everybody's is the same, you know, that everybody wants to do this, right? That more women want to do engineering jobs and all these things. We're kind of forcing it upon ourselves and wondering why it's not working.
Yeah.
Because no matter what, like, I don't believe that resiliency is something that can be taught. Like, you either have it or you don't. Not everyone wants to be, you know, Bezos and own all of Amazon, you know? And it's not right for us to force that upon them.
The thing that I've come back to with all that is we each have our own life to live. And the more you can just make it your own and not let other people dictate it, just the better it is. I think it's more fulfilling. It's really the beauty of what we're given here on this universe, whether it's the alternate reality is like, you know, we're just in like a modern Skyrim third-person game right now, or, you know, whether God made it, whatever. The fact that we have this life is a beautiful thing, and it's up to each individual to like take it, you know, and make it their own. And I'm not saying you can do it totally influence-free. I have my influences, you know, but you just try and manage it the best you can. And if you ever run into trouble, I find that you just gotta like go back to taking care of yourself, you know? This is awesome, that little like walk through there.
Yeah, that little gully. Once we get to the other side, we're gonna cross the creek, and it's my favorite spot.
Which reminds me of like running through the fields behind my house in Arkansas, which couldn't be further from California right now.
Dude, it reminds me of that scene in Gladiator
Oh, yeah.
when he dies in the end, and he's sitting there watching, looking at his wife,
Yeah, going through
and they're in the
field.
wheat. It's just a field of wheat there.
Yeah.
I always think a mountain lion's gonna jump out and like bite me in the back of the neck here, though.
See, even with that, I feel like I would win somehow.
There are those badass stories though, where a dude's hiking with his son and a mountain lion pounces on his kid and he stabs it to death with like a little Swiss Army knife.
Yeah. Or that dude that punched a bear in the face and killed it.
Punched a bear and killed it?
Yeah. Well, he
Didn't hear
already
about
shot
that.
it several times, but like the bear lunged at him, and the last thing he did was just like
Boom.
throw a haymaker into his face, and the bear fell dead at his feet.
Hit him
Like,
with that Ngannou right.
He'd already shot him. He had like, he's skinning an elk or deer or something, and bear came out, rushed him, tried to take that food he was preparing for him. He shot one, killed it, and then another one came out, and so he like dumps what rounds he had into it. Basically, what you know, what I think happened or whatever was basically like a bullet was in its like skull, lodged in like the shock wave of hitting his like fist like finished whatever was happening there, and like, granted, his whole arm like shattered like into pieces.
Really?
Yeah, but it's still pretty badass.
You know how hard you'd have to hit something to shatter it into pieces? Look at that little game trail. That's some deer, coyotes, huh?
Yeah, you can set a little trap on that. Catch
Not-
one for sure.
Not in my California, you're not.
Oh yeah.
That's another little gnarly game trail right here. You can see
Yeah.
it comes down through here by the creek and then runs
Staying
back
in
up.
a survival situation. That's where you.
Oh
can
yeah,
do it.
for sure. Yeah, I was teaching Christian about game trails the other day.
We set a little snare trap.
Yeah, get those damn coyotes, dude. Savages.
Coyotes are getting out of control here, and there's like people saying you need to like, protect them, and they're threatened and
Are they endangered?
What?
I hear that,
No.
but I didn't think they were. Like,
No,
they're not
they're-
endangered here. I can tell you
They're
that.
not. They're just like, they're so smart, and they're like just moving into public spaces.
They're like, well, we invaded their territory. Yeah, well,
Eating the
I
fuck
hate
out
that. Yeah, I hate that, homie. There's plenty of land. You can see it right here.
of them. That's it for the GoPro.
It's done.
Yeah, but we got some really good footage of this hike.
Yeah, this is like my favorite spot right down here. Hey, let's come down here by the water real quick. Just want to see if I can see any like footprints. The little animals come down through here. They walk. Let's see. Dude, I was always like unbelievably good at tracking. I've been really good at it. I don't know why. It's just one of those things I can pick it up pretty good.
Some of our like attention to detail stuff, like being able to pick up, or just like perception, intuition, being able to see little minor changes in nature.
I don't
To
see.
tell you something's been through there.
Yeah, I don't see anything here though. It's crazy. Watch out for that poison oak. You don't get poison oak, huh?
No.
It's because you got that Native American blood.
Dude.
Not me. My German blood does not help me out. But dude, I always did like at Recon Battalion getting poison oak all over my arms and legs, and then going home and putting the water on as hot as it would go, and then shoving it under the hot water. Yeah, it's like orgasmic, dude.
Dude.
My knees would shake, bro. It would feel so good.
We in BRC, it became my point to be the basic reconnaissance force. For those of you who don't know acronyms, we're patrol week, right? Here on Camp Hamilton, and there's poison oak everywhere out there, And
Someone's rooting around in there.
oh yeah, there's hogs back in all up and down here, dude.
Oh, I believe it.
But what was I saying? Oh yeah, so patrol week, right? It became my time to be point man, and I'm just we come to this part, and the instructor's like, all right, he's like pissed at us for some reason. It was like towards the end, everybody's getting tired and shit, and we come up to this hill. It's like a cliff face, dude. He's like, yeah, y'all are going up that. I was like, okay. So I tried to like play dumb and like take a route around it, and he's like, no, stop. Like, you're going straight up that.
It's a pump, huh?
Yeah, dude.
Huh.
With a filter on it. Yeah, we just discovered a little pump down in the water. It looks like you can just grab some water.
I would not drink that though.
Dude, if it goes through the filter, dude. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it looks like they have that little. Oh, let's look at it.
Yeah. I'd drink the shit out of it in a survival situation.
Well, yeah, survival. But you'd most likely get diarrhea. Huh. Okay. Well, that's cool.
If it goes through the filter, dude? No.
It's good to know.
You're most likely good.
I drink dirty water, dude. Wait, what were you saying about patrol week?
Yeah, so he says head up this cliff, right? So I go, all right, and I start climbing up this motherfucker, and I'm like using these vines like to grab onto and stuff, and then I like it's at night. I got my NVGs on, I like come up close to my face because I'm climbing up this cliff, And I looked down, I'm like, dude, that's poison oak, bro. And I was like, these poor bastards behind me.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I was like, I'm not allergic, but I knew as I'm like crawling up this thing, I'm just like intertwining my hands in it, and like we're just like just crawling up the side of this hill, just through fucking a massive thing of poison oak. Those poor guys.
Dude, I almost died walking on those mountains, dude.
Oh, this is beautiful. Right here. A woodpecker.
Yeah.
Some coyote or something rustling around over there. Yeah, just taking a moment to enjoy it. The sun's coming through the trees, lighting up these leaves, shading in the trees, contrast.
Dude, so we're talking about drinking dirty water, and it reminded me of this time I was in the Philippines.
Yeah, shit.
What's
Look
up?
at your,
Is it dead?
it says full.
Oh. Nope, I'm still going, so it's the Steve show now. Steve the Barbarian. I'm not the Barbarian, I'm Steve the Potter. The Potter, that's it. I'm a potter. Well, here, you want to trade?
No, I mean, if you put it like between us, we should still be able to pick up my voice too. But
Yeah, it seems like maybe it's a little muffled.
or just use it like a interview thing. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah, so I was, we were working Balakatan in the Philippines, right? And my platoon commander, not my platoon commander, what am I saying? My team chief comes in and he's like, hey, we need volunteers to go do the Filipino Special Forces Survival Course. So I'm like, what? So my team's like, no, bro, we're super busy. But you know what? I was like, man, I'm like one of 2 recondos on this team. I'm not a bitch, I'll fucking do it, you know?
Yeah.
So we go and we push out into their little jungle training center. And we got to the part of the training where they were teaching us how to dig down in the jungle to get clean water. So you find a source of water, like a creek or whatever. You go off about 15 feet, find a point of elevation, then you dig down into the dirt, all right, and let the water from the earth fill up that hole. Then you burn bamboo, and you take the bamboo, you get the charcoal, you throw it in your canteen cup, fill it up with the doo-doo water you just dug for. And the charcoal in it is supposed to purify it, right? So their logic being that like they're making their own charcoal filter, or that the charcoal itself had cleansing properties. And I was like, bro, no, man. I'm like, no, this isn't how it works. You don't get to put doo-doo water in a cup, throw a piece of burnt bamboo in there and call it legit.
Oh shit.
But then they gave me that look, so I drank the water.
Yeah.
But I did get very sick, so the moral of the story is,
That doesn't work.
nah.
Yeah, you need to pour it through the charcoal shit. Like put your t-shirt out, put all the charcoal in it, and then pour the water over it, and then it'll go through like a carbon filter type thing. You know?
In theory, right?
Yeah.
It's better than nothing, but maybe straining it, boiling it,
Yeah.
it's probably your better option 9 times
Yeah,
out of
if you're
10.
starting a fire to do the bamboo, like why?
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, check your timer on the thing. Make sure we're still going. Cause I say we just wrap it up, dude, while we still got it pumping
Yeah,
on.
we're at an hour or so.
Oh man, and you know my breath might start getting a little heavy because we've been walking for a little bit.
Yeah.
But I just want to thank everybody for joining us on this walk. It's been awesome. It's beautiful back here. Don't let your house make you a prisoner or a slave to your body. Get outside, make some adventure for your life. And thank you, Steve, for joining me. It's about time we did a podcast together. Everybody.
Yeah, bro. Anytime, dude. You know, it's
And
just a conversation, man.
yeah, and we're gonna have some more while I'm out here, leading up to the Marine Raider Challenge. Who knows? We might record it while we're doing the Marine Raider Challenge itself.
Hell yeah.
We'll just do a podcast.
Just on the hike,
there.
yeah. The hike and some phones.
So, again, thanks for joining me. Make sure if you're listening on iTunes, you subscribe, like it, leave a comment on what you think. And then on SoundCloud, do the same. And if you want to check out the video, it's going to be fucking badass. This is like, I haven't seen anybody else do this shit before for a podcast. So we're breaking new ground here. So check that out on my YouTube, Dana the Barbarian. And yeah, thanks again for joining us.
Hell yeah. Thanks, homie.
All right, dude.